Hello, everyone. It's Friday, June 24th. We've got several deaths, only 2 additional deaths since my last briefing, but we've got 36 reconciliation deaths. I want to honor all these folks and everything, and but nevertheless, we should surely go through and pause in prayer, pause in honor and everything for all these great West Virginians that we've lost. So please join me in that. But our 7,019th death is a 53-year-old male from Kanawha County. Our 7,020th death is a 68-year-old female from Boone County. Our 7,021st death is a 79-year-old female from Marshall County. Our 7,022nd death is a 75-year-old male from Wyoming County. Our 7,023rd death is a 39-year-old female from McDowell County. Our 7,024th death is an 81-year-old female from Raleigh County. Our 7,025th death is a 91-year-old female from Logan County. Our 7,026th death is a 91-year-old female from Kanawha County. Our 7,027th death is a 59-year-old male from Mason County. Our 7,028th death is an 81-year-old male from Kanawha County. Our 7,029th death is a 93-year-old female from Harrison County. Our 7,030th death is a 66-year-old female from Kanawha County. Our 7,031st death is an 89-year-old female from Clay County. Our 7,032nd death is an 84-year-old male from Kanawha County. Our 7,033rd death is a 76-year-old male from Logan County. Our 7,034th death is a 91-year-old male from Jackson County. Our 7,035th death is an 81-year-old male from Nicholas County. Our 7,036th death is an 89-year-old male from Cabell County. Our 7,037th death is a 79-year-old female from Kanawha County. Our 7,038th death is a 71-year-old male from Preston County. Our 7,039th death is an 80-year-old female from Ohio County. Our 7,040th death, get this, is a 107-year-old male from Logan County. What an incredible life, sir, and thank you so much for all the wisdom. Thank all these folks and everything, but my gosh, 107 years old. It's amazing. The 7,041st death is a 50-year-old female from Cabell County. The 7,042nd death is an 84-year-old female from Wood County. The 7,043rd death is a 91-year-old female from Clay County. The 7,044th death is an 80-year-old female from Morgan County. The 7,045th death is a 68-year-old female from Braxton County. The 7,046th death is an 81-year-old female from Ohio County. The 7,047th death is an 87-year-old female from Kanawha County. The 7,048th death is a 61-year-old male from Wayne County. The 7,049th death is a 66-year-old female from Putnam County. The 7,050th death is a 68-year-old female from Raleigh County. The 7,051st death is a 68-year-old female from Wyoming County. The 7,052nd death is a 75-year-old female from Putnam County. The 7,053rd death is a 71-year-old female from Putnam County. The 7,054th death is an 84-year-old male from Kanawha County. The 7,055th death is an 81-year-old male from Preston County. The 7,056th death in West Virginia is a 67-year-old female from Raleigh County. 7,056 deaths. It's unbelievable. I should read this to you that from June 6th through the 20th, 2022, the National Center for Health Statistics was unable to certify deaths due to a data system update affecting all 50 of our states. So that's where a lot of reconciliations, we got to pull it back and get it right, and that's where they come from in a lot of ways. As far as our numbers go, we have 2,135 active cases in West Virginia right now, 611 new cases in the last 24 hours. Our daily positivity rate, not many people tested, but it was 12.35. The cumulative positivity rate at 8.16. Recovered cases, like I said, are now over 520,000. We have 196 people hospitalized, 23 patients in the ICU, 6 patients on ventilators. All of our counties are green and yellow. We have, it looks like, more yellow counties than green. We probably need to, move the tide back the other way. Before I go any further, there's been news that has just come out and everything. It's big news, it's major news. I know it's a COVID briefing, but in this situation, I feel, that we should absolutely address this. But as you know, the Supreme Court just issued their decision overturning Roe v. Wade and returning and leaving the regulations on abortion to all the states. And I'm going to read to you the statement that I put out. I feel very strongly about this statement. I applaud the Supreme Court's courageous decision today. I've said many times that I very proudly stand for life, and I am rock solid against abortion, and I believe that every human life is a miracle worth saving and protecting. I will not hesitate to call a special session after consulting with the legislature and my legal team if clarifications of our laws need to be made. And the other thing that I am absolutely proud that we can do and we should be looking at in every way we can possibly help our crisis pregnancy centers and help those folks there. So I'm sure we'll get questions. I'll do the best I possibly can to answer those questions and everything. It's a little premature right now from the standpoint of us being able to, that we've had discussions, but not at length discussions with the legislature and lots of different folks. Nevertheless, we have a pediatrician that is joining us today. Her name is Dr. Lisa McBride. She's the owner of Cardinal Pediatrics in Morgantown. They do phenomenal work. She is joining us and going to share thoughts with us in regard to vaccines for our youngest kids and everything. But Dr. McBride, if you could come on now and talk to us, that'd be really good.
Thank you, Governor Justice. So it's a fantastic thing that over the past couple weeks, we've been waiting for approval of the vaccine, the COVID vaccines. There are 2 of them that have been approved, Moderna and Pfizer, for our littlest patients in our communities. And it is very important to get these children vaccinated. They have been waiting the longest to benefit from protection against COVID infection and the severe consequences it can have. Children, the youngest children, less than the age of 5-year-olds, they have significant illness when they are infected, and they have been left out thus far of the vaccine enrollment. So we are very happy and excited that we now have 2 options available to families of infants and toddlers who have been waiting for this.
Thank you so much, and appreciate you coming on, and congratulations on the unbelievable work that you do and all the successes you've had. Keep it up. You just absolutely mean so much to so many. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, if I could jump back and remind you again about your booster shots, absolutely, please get your booster shot. I mean, a gentleman that his name's Tennis Cook. Tennis has had all of his shots and everything. He just came down with COVID again. He doesn't hardly have any symptoms at all. I'm sure he'll be absolutely fine. It can be much, much, much different without your booster shots. And so please get those booster shots. And so let me just keep moving here. All the vaccine calculator stuff is up on our website. All the COVID vaccine information up on our website. Take advantage of free testing. That's all up on our website. We've had 70 outbreaks in our long-term care facilities. We have 70 outbreaks in our long-term care facilities right now, none in our church community. Our corrections numbers are a little better. We have 77 inmate cases now and 20 staff cases. I remind you about the rental assistance program. It'll help renters, it'll help landlords. Please contact us. The same with the homeowner assistance program. It is really, really, really important, and there's dollars available to you out there. If you can get qualified, it'll just take a few moments. Call us. I remind everybody about giving blood, especially if you've had this dreaded killer and you've some way survived it and everything, and you're doing well. Check with your physician, please. Just check with your physician. If they give you, their blessing and everything, please consider it. Yeah, yesterday was a tough day for lots of folks in a lot of different areas and everything, from the standpoint of the memories of the flood of 2016 on July the 23rd. Hear me out just a second on this. We know with the severity of our mountains that any level of rainfall can cause some kind of damage. And we've seen it and seen it and seen it. I have never experienced anything in my life, especially anything weather related in my life, that was as tragic as this right here. We lost 23 people across West Virginia. I can tell you from my standpoint wholeheartedly, I waded the mud. I tried to do anything and everything that I could possibly do. Suspended campaign, absolutely just jumped in and tried to help in every way I possibly could. With all of that, we hunted a little 14-year-old girl, Michaela Phillips, and we did that for 6 weeks. She was washed miles down the stream when we found her. It's unbelievable. If you'll just think back, this affected 12 counties. There was 123 bridges that were damaged. 5 were completely destroyed. Floodwaters closed 250 roads and washed out 1,300 other spots on other roads. Well, I'm sorry, and washed out 1,300 others. It's amazing. It is just hard to believe that it's been 6 years. It feels like it was yesterday, in many, many, many ways. I'll never forget it. And I ask you to always keep all these folks in your prayers. I've got to say one more thing. I think about two guys. I've been a coach forever, and I'm very proud of it, and I encourage people to get involved with their kids. They really need you. They really need you. And if you've got any kind of level of time, I'm not going to say it's easy, but if you've got any kind of level of time, I know, all of us want to just play and enjoy our free time and everything. But if you can just think about giving back, and giving back to a kid, it's really important. But in all of that, and I think it's important to say just this again, but right down from me sitting on the bench was 2 guys at the scorer's table, and they were there all the time. One of them was Tom Bill Dudley, and the other was Ronnie Scott. And Tom Bill was suffering with cancer. And I think his home was just completely washed away. Ronnie, on the other hand, and Ronnie is 3 chairs down from me. Now just imagine this. And I think I'll get this right enough. But Ronnie, the water's coming up, and Ronnie and his wife are there, and Ronnie took the kids and one of the cars and got to high ground. His wife was going to take the other car and the dog, and I guess get to high ground, and maybe she couldn't quite get the dog at the time. And so she went back to the house. Well, Ronnie couldn't find her, and it was pouring the rain, just flat pouring the rain. And she called and said, Ronnie, I can't get out of here now. And the water just kept coming up. Well, the next call came, Ronnie, I smell gas. And the next thing that happened is Ronnie was climbing the hill over there just trying to get to where he can see the house. And then he heard the explosion. His wife was blown into a tree not very far from the house and everything, with 70% burns on her body, and we lost her a couple days later. The house looked like absolutely, it couldn't have been more leveled by the biggest bomb that could have ever hit it. Without any question, this was a tough time for lots and lots of folks. Don't forget them, please. It absolutely etched a scar on my life that I'll never forget, and I hope to goodness we won't ever forget just how tragic that flooding can be and how cautious we need to be and how we need to always try to run to the fire. Ed Gaunch is retiring. Let me tell you this. Cabinet Secretary Ed Gaunch of the Department of Commerce is an absolute superstar. He's been a public servant for a long, long, long time. Ed Gaunch is a good man. I think he grew up in Boone County and went to West Virginia State and always remembers that. And absolutely, with all in him, he represents the goodness of West Virginia. He loves us. He's done phenomenal work. And absolutely, we want to congratulate him in every way. And I mean this, Ed, you're a true friend. You've done phenomenal work. I could not have been more blessed, there's no way, than to have you in that job. You have done a great job, and I am so proud and so happy for you and wish you the greatest and the happiest retirement and everything. I don't want you to just go away. I want you to know you're welcome anytime to stroll in and give us great advice and great wisdom that you've already done so many times. The successes are unbelievable. This man is a true West Virginia hero. So Ed, bless you and God bless and just have a wonderful retirement. The other thing I want to tell you is I want to just stop and talk about a man that we honored yesterday. His name is Patrick McKinney. And Patrick McKinney he's been with the Bluefield area transit, folks in every capacity, from just starting his career all the way through to doing greatness beyond belief. There's a building there now. And that building is called the Patrick McKinley Bluefield Area Transit Transfer Station. We were there yesterday, dedicating that building. Before they just had basically an awning or whatever you want to call it, where people stood outside winter and summer. Can you imagine? Can you imagine making the choice to go to try to get a bus to move around town or whatever it may be, because you don't have other transportation? Can you imagine 225,000 riders and 15,000 disabled riders? Can you imagine making the decision to stand out in 95-degree heat or stand there when it was blistering cold, or just stay home? Well, a lot of people probably would opt just to stay home. Now they don't have to do that. Now they can stand in air conditioning. They can absolutely sit in warmth and absolutely get around. And that's what we should be doing. This man wouldn't give up. I'm joined there by lots and lots and lots of folks, the mayor and on and on and on. Our great Secretary of Transportation was with us. So many different people. A great day for Bluefield, a city that absolutely, in my opinion, in so many ways, probably could have died. The railroad left. The coal mines closed. And how has Bluefield survived? I salute in every way Senator Bill Cole. He's done amazing work at Bluefield State and all those there. Rob, and on and on and on. I appreciate you, and I'm not going to go through the naming of everybody. But literally, when it really boils right down to it, that is a community on the move. and we are so proud of them. And it's great to see good stuff like that going on in southern West Virginia. And the last thing I'd tell you, we had some folks there. You know, there's a bridge there called the Grant Street Bridge, and it's needing to be rebuilt. And it has needed to be rebuilt for a long, long, long time. And we've just shoved it in the background, and nobody's done anything about it and everything. And I told the people that I'd build that bridge back. And we have people there and everything because they want it to happen, you know, as fast as possible, and so do I. And there's always, you know, bureaucratic slowdowns, like the railroad is a big component of this and everything, and there's some issues there, and everybody's trying to work through those issues. But I told those people, and as I told them before, I'm building the bridge back. That's all there is to it. One way or another, that bridge is going to be built, and it's going to be built now. So those great folks, you know, a lot of them are with me right there, and I love them with all my soul, and we're going to have that bridge. That's all there is to it. Some way, somehow, we're going to get that done. We're going to get it done, not in 10 million years. We're going to get it done now. So nevertheless, that's all I got right now. And the only other thing, let me just say this, you know, and I don't know if there's any questions about this and everything, but let me just get it out in the news and everything. You know, this is in regard to any issue that may come up on the Hope Scholarship stuff. You know, there's I think session before last, you know, there was law passed and everything, you know, and it was in regard to, you know, school choice, and it was in regard, and it impacts the school aid funding, you know, situation and everything, where I think 90% of those dollars follow the kid, and the kid can go, you know, to a private school and all that and everything. And the legislature passed, you know, brought up the law, passed the law and everything. It came to me, I proudly signed the law. And so if there's any questions, you know, about that, you know, from the standpoint of our Department of Ed has decided, and they're an independent body, and that's the way I want them to be. I want them to think independently, and I want them to be independent and everything, and they've decided that they feel like their position is to stand rock solid with public ed. And don't get me wrong, I love our public education system. I want to make it better, but I want us to be able to have choice and everything. And so I signed the bill, and you know, at this point in time, I think, you know, our AG will vigorously defend our side, you know, from the standpoint of Department of Ed and everything. I'm tickled to death, you know, that, you know, that they have the independence to make a choice. We're on different sides of the fence. The court will decide that and everything, you know, but that's not an issue that needs any discussion any more than just that. We'll see what the courts decide. Nevertheless, that's pretty much all I've got. Thank y'all.
All right, thank you, Governor. Dr. Ayn Amjad, our state health officer, is joining us today and is available for questions. We'll now go to questions from members of the media. The first today from Charles Young with WV News.
Hi, this is Charles Young with WV News. My question is for Dr. Amjad. I know we've recently talked about this initial shipment of vaccines for our youngest kids, the 17,400, I believe it is, that we're supposed to get in by next week. Could you talk a little bit about the next order, the availability, and what we're going to base that order on? Thank you.
Dr. Amjad, please.
Yes, Governor Charles. So the state was allotted about 17,000 doses for Moderna and then 17,000 doses of Pfizer vaccine. So that's about 34,000 in total that will be expected to come into the state for the 6 months through 5-year-olds. So far, we have received, so there were 2 waves of orders. So the first week, you know, health departments, physicians' offices, clinics were able to put in a first order, and then the following week, there was a second order. So right now, the last numbers that I had, about 21,700 doses had been pre-ordered in those 2 waves initially, and the state has received almost half of those because they were delivered earlier on this week despite the holiday. So we have about a third of the expected doses to come in, and we are expecting to receive the full shipment that is allotted to us, which should be over close to 34,000 once they're all ordered.
All right, thank you, Charles. Next to Jess Mancini with Ogden Newspapers.
There we go. Sorry, I couldn't find the unmute button there. I have a couple of questions. First, I guess to Dr. Amjad, a reader this morning asked me, was concerned about getting the vaccine for her child and said, where would they get it? I'm not a doctor or a state health official. So if a parent wanted to arrange a vaccine, what should be their first step? And second question for the governor, if there's this new Chinese golf tour coming up, and you own probably one of the most historic golf courses and resorts in America. If the Chinese came and said, hey, Governor, we'd like to arrange a tour stop over there, what would you tell them?
Okay, Dr. Amjad, let me answer this first. Well, you go ahead first.
Okay, yes, Governor. So that's a good question. So I would tell a parent right now to first check with their pediatrician or their healthcare provider. Multiple healthcare providers have ordered the vaccine and are likely ramping up a plan to get those rolled out to their patients. Health departments have also ordered them as well. So that's another resource they could use. Pharmacies across the state have them as well. However, pharmacies can only vaccinate children 3 years and older. So if you have someone, a baby less than 3 years old, I would check with your healthcare provider and see when you can schedule one with them for an appointment.
And back to me, Jess. Let me say this. First of all, I don't know anything about a Chinese tour, or a Chinese organization that's backing golfers. Saudi
Arabia.
The Saudi Arabian, it's called LIV, I believe, LIV, and there's a lot of really, really big name golfers that are migrating over there, and they're making a decision that we make every day in life in this country with our freedoms that we have. They're making decisions that are probably driven by economics more than anything. From the standpoint of that decision and how that decision, if it's made if it becomes available to us, that decision will be made by my children, primarily because they're running the businesses and everything. From the standpoint of still having ownership in the Greenbrier, I would probably weigh in with an opinion, but from my standpoint, if that's presented to us, it'd be a real interesting, situation. It could bring a whole lot of notoriety to our state and everything. And if we step back and think, we may all across this globe, we may have different views and everything on things from time to time. But I do know that 2 of their stops in the United States are Trump golf courses, and I think the Trump organization is solidly behind this. And so, from the standpoint of being supportive to have the tournaments there, I really believe that, in all fairness, we fought a Gulf War because we felt like that Saddam Hussein was going to invade our ally Saudi Arabia. We fought a war, and many folks lost their lives and everything. So with all that being said, I think it'd bring more notoriety and everything to West Virginia, and I'd surely be open to at least hearing, the possibilities if it came our way.
Correct. Sorry.
All right, thank you, Jess. Next, we'll hear from Mark Curtis with Nexstar Media.
Good afternoon, Governor, and everyone else, or good morning still. Governor, I'd like to follow up on your Hope Scholarship statement.
Mark, I think you muted yourself there, sir.
Sorry about that. I want to go back to the Hope Scholarship question, or the issue the governor brought up, because it does seem awkward to some that the school superintendent and some of the board members he appointed are going to be on opposing sides on this issue. Governor, what do you think the benefit of Hope Scholarships are, and why did you sign that bill into law?
Well, Mark, I do believe we should have choice. I really do. And as far as a far-reaching impact to us, I think it is very, very minuscule, at least at this point in time. But I think that I think our families always deserve choice, and so I was proud to sign it from the standpoint of having a differentiation of opinion with people that I've appointed and everything. Listen, Mark, I'm telling you straight up as straight up can be. You don't see one single appointment from Jim Justice where Jim Justice looks at people and says, now I'm telling you, I want you to do everything I say to do. Why do that? I select the very best people that we can possibly get into those jobs and expect them to think, to use their own minds, absolutely to think. And so we have a differentiation of opinion. I mean, these people are great. I absolutely am so proud of the school board that's in place and Superintendent Birch. It's unbelievable. They do great work. They do great work every day. We have a differentiation of opinion on this, and let the courts decide this. I mean, that's all there is to it.
All right, thanks, Mark. Governor, I'll turn it back to you.
Okay. I really, it is a landmark day with the Supreme Court's decision, and what do? We absolutely, in my opinion, we celebrate that decision, but irregardless, we continue to move forward. We continue to try to do more and more and more goodness for the people of this great state, and that's what I do every single day, and that's what I'm going to continue to do. So I would tell you in every way, that we're going to try to help our people as best we possibly can. We need the people to try to help us, but within all of this, I assure you in 10 million ways that I am only here for one reason. I am surely here to abide by the law. I am surely here to tell you the truth, and I'm surely here to try to help in every way. I don't want anything. I never have. At the end of the day, what I get out of this is just like yesterday, and I've got to share this with you. I hadn't thought about this until right then. But yesterday, where we were over there at the Patrick McKinney building, the transit building, and making that dedication, there was a couple ladies that came up to me and said, the Mountaineer Food Bank is right across the road. And we got some kids over there, and they're having a little class and everything. On your way out, would you mind just driving by and waving or whatever to them? Well, that drive-by and waving lasted an hour. And it lasted an hour because I chose for the hour to be that way. Really and truly, I went in and sat down with those kids. They were having a little class there and everything. We did all kinds of neat stuff and everything. Those kids, I am telling you, those kids are so precious, so wonderful in every single way. I'm putting lettuce in, I guess it's called hydroponics, I think, and it's grown in water and everything. But I'm putting, they're getting their bags of food and everything as they're getting ready to leave. They've had their little class. A great lady from the WVU Extension or whatever gave them a class on making sure that they get enough drinking water, making sure that they absolutely, eat properly and all that kind of stuff. And then they went through and they picked up some vegetables and fruits and everything to be able to take home. Now listen to me, and listen really good. There's lots of issues going on in my life, that day. But when you look at those little kids and you think, in many situations, they're there because they're hungry. I mean, there can't be anything wrong in my life when you look at that. I love our kids beyond good sense. I've said it a million times. We have so much to be thankful for in this country, in this incredible state. It is off the chart. And we should always remember that. We should always be giving thanks over and over and over. We want to keep on doing good stuff. But absolutely, we are so blessed it's off the chart. A great day yesterday, a great day today. The good Lord above is going to give us sunshine and great day tomorrow. And we should always remember just the blessings that he gives us over and over. I thank all those kids and all those great folks that are working, to absolutely do greatness within our food banks all across our state in every way. I love the fact that they invited me, and it made my day. So thank y'all so much. That's all I got.